How
Uh,
are you, Therese?
I'm okay. Like we're having tech issues. We're not on the usual channel we would be on, which is Amber's channel, which is the No Sugarcoating the Truth channel. So if you're seeing this live right now, be sure to check on that channel next week because that's where we typically go live. But we had some snafus
Tech
and
glitches.
we did. We had some tech issues. So here we are on the Blythe Starlight channel, but I'm happy to have you here. It's always
Yeah,
lovely to hang out with you.
I'm so excited to be here with you. This is super fun. And yeah, we're just trying to like expand our horizons, right? And just kind of I feel like Rumble is just the place for this. And then we have 6 people watching us live. So that's exciting,
That's
right?
super exciting. Hi there.
So yeah, this is super fun. And yeah, bear with us while we just sort of tech glitches and get to know Rumble a little bit better.
Yeah.
But welcome to Shining the Light On.
I
Is
want
the
to
fog real?
yeah, we were going to talk about the fog, and not a lot of people are talking about the fog. So there wasn't a lot of information to get on this topic. I just think that something's up. So I wanted to ask
Yeah.
some questions
Yeah.
to the team, but I also wanted to find out, and if you're here watching, pop it in our chat. Are you also having like weird tech issues? Like I'm having the weirdest time with tech right now.
Yeah, my Zoom for sure has had some stuff like just really slow loading. My Instagram the other day, stuff wasn't loading. I'm just testing the chat too. We're good on the. But yeah, it's been really interesting lately. And I'm hearing, and maybe we should do a future episode on the blackouts because I'm hearing cyber attack / blackout stuff could be ramping up soon, right? And maybe that there's glitches in the system. Are they transferring systems over in the background, right?
Oh, yes. Let's find out. I'm going to ask the pendulum right now. Let's just ask really quick.
I feel like this is the year. I feel like 2024 is the year of the scare event and the precipice. And so there's probably so much going on in the background that we don't know about. And Blossom and the Federation of Light are always saying that, how like there's so much behind the scenes that you can't see. And I have chills.
For sure. Okay, so if you're asking if they're switching over the system, I'm guessing you're saying from the like cabal-based system to the white hat system.
Yeah.
A good way to ask that. Okay, so all right, from the highest truth, are we in the midst of a tech switch over right now from the negative cabal run technology / internet to the higher timeline white hat internet? Yes or no from the highest truth? So it's like a small yes. I feel like there's more information. I think that what the word I heard was ether kicked in. So it's not even the internet as we know it. It's a different type of system altogether. So it's hard to get a really strong answer from them because they're like, you're kind of there, but you're not quite.
Makes sense. I also kind of get that all the solar, there's been so many solar flares that I feel like that impacts technology a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's maybe that too.
At certain levels, it can impact like radio waves. Other levels, the radio waves stay fine and it'll impact like GPS, instruments. And so, yeah, we're seeing all this high levels of CMEs, solar flare activity, and all this plasma, radiation technically coming at our planet. So for sure, that can have an effect on technology. And I didn't even think about that, but that might be like the most basic thing that's happening.
Oh, basic, but let's talk like sleep. Hello. I'm just like, can I sleep properly ever again?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's been weird because I'm having a hard time falling asleep and I use sleep aids to help me get to sleep, like natural sleep aids, but it's like my eyes don't want to close, but I'm tired.
Interesting. That's usually a cortisol thing. Side note. But if you're ever falling cortisol's too high at bedtime. So what's the stimulation? What are you not it's, I don't know what's going on.
This could be a deep dive into my cortisol levels. But instead of doing that, we'll talk about the fog. And if we have time, we can touch on some other topics. So really quick, I shared with you. Now, I wanted to ask you, are you guys seeing fog in Canada, like excessive?
No, like when it gets really cold or we have a change in weather system, when they change the weather, I feel like, and it goes from, because it can get very dry in the winter, but then we can have more humid weather come in before it's going to snow. And so
Right.
then it can get really foggy. And we had a few days of that when it was really cold as it was about to warm up and then snow. But we haven't had anything out of the ordinary here at all. So it definitely doesn't seem like it's a Western Canada thing anyway.
That's interesting because Michigan, I should say Illinois, like Chicago area, seems to be getting it pretty bad. And they're kind of close to you, aren't they? Like Michigan and
They're
Illinois.
central, so they're more Midwestern, so they'd be quite a bit more west than us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
curious
so,
because we're getting bouts of fog over here in Washington State. So I'm all the way on the West Coast, and we're not seeing the same kind of weather as the middle of the country, but it seems to be in the middle of our country, like right through, like a whole strip from the top to the bottom. They're having this intense fog. And I was looking at video footage of it, and like I was looking at a weather cam in Chicago, and the fog was so thick that all you could see was like gray white. That was it. You couldn't see anything behind it, and it's causing like traffic pileups to happen. I mean, it's kind of dangerous to be out in that. And I don't know if it's seasonable. I feel like there's a person that we're in a group chat with who's out there, and she was saying that it was unseasonable, and also mentioning that I think she was saying that she was having sinus issues, or her kids were having sinus issues, and that the fog was relentless. And when I looked deeper into it, I saw that there was an article that was posted saying that like the military basically admitting, oh yeah, we were doing, military exercises. It's called chaff, and they use that to kind of do their drills or whatever, which seems super suspicious to me. Because
I heard that too, though, about like, so I heard when there's really cold snaps here, they'll do the same thing because no one's going outside. So if it's like minus 40 to 50 or heavy fog or smoke from fires, right? And so I know a while ago when I was listening to Gene Decode, I think in May, when we were having the crazy hot weather and fires, and it was all seemed so like there's something else going on. He said that the white hats are using weather warfare right now to proceed with military operations because they can hide and no one can see what's going on, right? So I wouldn't doubt it.
Feel like an exercise. It feels like we're in operations, which is one of the things I wanted to ask. And also, so this chaff, as I understand it, is like an aluminum sprayed glass particles, and that might be causing people to have the reaction to it. So I wanted to ask you, what are things that people could do to help them detox if they're encountering this? Because you can't avoid it. It's pretty present. I mean, and it's in a large area. So there's like nowhere you're going to go if you're in those states.
Totally. Yeah. I definitely think things like if you can hop in your shower and get the water running really nice and drop some things like peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, and then do some deep breathing and some steam inhalation or a steam bath where you put hot water in a bowl and a towel and put some essential oil of those three in there. That's really helpful for calming inflammation and irritation. Things like vitamin C, NAC supplements, zinc, quercetin, all really good for any like inflammation in the respiratory and the lungs and any of the tissue linings going even down the throat and the esophagus. I think that those would probably be some of the best things. You could also do some of those essential oils, eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, like in a diffuser and have it help kind of with the air. Those are some of the best things you can do, whether it's smoke or whether it's this fog. But yeah, it feels very covert still.
It does. Yeah. And I wonder what kind of movement they're pulling. I mean, why would you need fog cover over if they're clearly not doing underground unless they're pulling a lot of stuff out from underground.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, here we are like February 1st, 2024 tomorrow. And it's like, are they still cleaning things up underground? I thought that they would be done that by now if we're about to go into like, right, the precipice and everything this year. Or are they like finding more? And then it's like, oh, we've got to get this done as fast as we can. And this is one of the only ways we can do it without lockdowns or the things they were using back in 2020. Like it's,
I mean, I kind of feel like it's probably bigger than we think it is.
Oh yeah.
We know that there are certain areas, like I believe what it's like the tip of Africa and Australia, Middle East. These are places that have pretty intricate, I mean, like all the underground systems, as I understand it, they do connect globally, but there are hubs, right?
Yeah.
Where it's really dense, and they keep calling it like spider web. Like it's so deep.
Yeah. And they keep finding more, and then they think they have everything. And then I wonder too, because the other thing that's coming up for me is like this whole extraterrestrial piece. Like, are they using it because they're catching entities or negative energies or negative extraterrestrials? Is there stuff going on in the sky that they don't want people to see? Like it's like when we had the smoke here last May from the fires, the energy of it felt different. So on some days that the energy of the smoke felt very benevolent and very much like it was being put there on purpose because there's like essentially covert stuff going on in the sky that they didn't want people to see. But then days it felt very heavy and dark. And if you went out into it, I felt nauseous instantly and like could not, obviously I didn't want to go outside, but from the vehicle to the house. Right. And so you could feel the difference in the energy. And it was very obvious on different days.
Yeah.
So I wonder,
well,
it'd be nice to find out these things one day, wouldn't it?
Right. I'd like the confirmation, but in the meantime, we can ask the team and get some answers to this. So what's our first question we want to find out here? I want to ask go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, what is this fog hiding, or what is it like a cover for?
Okay. That's a good one. All right. Okay. What is this fog a cover for, team?
Because there's always something else. It's like the whole Super Bowl thing. I
wanted to talk about that too if we have time, but okay. What is the fog a cover for? Interesting. Okay, so the first card I get is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And what it's telling me is like they have to go back and redo something. There was a missed opportunity, or the timing was something that they were trying to do didn't work out. And it's like they're trying to work through something that they missed before. So it feels like a missed opportunity or something that didn't fully go through as was expected. And so they're trying to go back and lock it back in. Let me see if I can get more information on that. Okay.
Like an energy grid or something? Or something more physical?
I would from this one so far, I would say energetic. I've got the 7 of Cups here upright, and it's talking about like they didn't have a strong path forward. There was some indecisiveness. They weren't sure about, let's see, what else can you give me? Yeah, so it's physical, something physical, because now I've got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. They're showing me that, okay, so if you were to go underground or work with that, there's like these tunnels split. They're not a straight line, right? Like
right, yeah.
And it's almost like they followed the wrong line down. went the wrong direction. It didn't get to the thing that they were trying to get to. And so they have to go back and start it again. And it's one of those things where this needs to get done. It can't be missed.
Right.
And there was concern, there's worry happening here about doing this. Like, it's not the ideal way to do it.
Right.
This wasn't planned necessarily. This wasn't the plan to draw so much attention to it, but it's necessary in order to go back and get this. They're hopeful that this is going to work. Like, they figured it out. The feeling I'm getting is that there's underground pockets of people.
Yeah, right.
And I can't tell if these underground pockets of people are people that they're rescuing, but I feel like more it's like underground pockets of negative military that they're cleaning out is what I really get.
Yeah.
It was like they got duped. They chose the wrong path. The pocket was left clear. So now it's like, and it's taking a while. So this stuff doesn't clear up until this is really done. So it's going to be like, when does this leave? Kind of feeling they have to keep regenerating it, but they're very hopeful that this is working. They don't like so much attention coming to it. Maybe why there isn't a lot to see about it, even though it's still going on. And it's for an excessive amount of time.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting a few more weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Did you check your pendulum on that?
Yes. I asked 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It started to shift to no. So somewhere between 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks.
I'm getting the chills on that. And they're telling this, they want you to pay, they want us paying more attention to the Super Bowl thing, which is why that's so hyped.
Distractions.
To distract you from the fact that this weather is so weird. It's not moving. It is causing, some illness. I'm not getting that it's going to have a super negative effect on people, but there is to it. So you really do want to be cleaning your sinuses out in the ways like Amber was talking about. I'm also getting, if it's appropriate, using something that's a heavy metal detox. Could you recommend some light ones for people?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So if you're a cilantro fan, you can use cilantro, put it in your food, and that is an easy way. You could also do like a chlorella or a chlorophyll, and what it does is it helps to pull and bind. You can also get some, like, I prefer drops over supplements. I just find that energetically they're a little bit more gentle on the body. So you can get like a heavy metal. I just want to pull up the one that I like to give the name. I think it's like metal detox.
Nettle, like the plant nettle?
Oh, no, metal, like ME, but I'm just going to find the name of it and what's in it. And then you can always like get one of the things. But obviously things like hydration are super important. Make sure you're drinking as much filtered water as you can. Liver support is extremely important. So beets, carrots, avocados, celery, cucumber, anything green, or doing lemon in your water. If you can do like a lymphatic, like dry brushing or hot and cold showers to like really keep the elimination systems open and the detox systems open. Yeah. And then, the chlorophyll, the chlorella, to me are like the most gentle, usually easily accessible things that people can get. And then the cilantro or cilantro capsules would be easy for food.
Okay. That sounds doable. That sounds easy.
Yeah, it's just easy stuff, hopefully, right, that you can find. Obviously, you can go a lot deeper, like, and do a lot of other things. Like if you want to go and see someone and get like chelation IVs and stuff, you can. But ideally, if you're going to get into that kind of stuff, you want to get tested first and see if you have high levels of metals. So cilantro, cucumbers, stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay, I just asked my team if the white hats are trying to distract us from looking at this and why. Okay.
Feels like they are.
Same card came up. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, because it was a missed opportunity. That's why.
Right. The timing is interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So the reason they're doing it because they that missed opportunity, went the wrong direction. They need to recoup that right now. I think that they're going to, this is the devil card coming up here. So this is about false evidence appearing real. So maybe hype up some fear scenarios, because they really need, they really need to keep doing this. And if we're questioning it, we're looking into it, when we start to resist it, we can create a block, like a block. Oh no, here we go.
Right.
Six of Swords happening right now, which is, but you can see this is almost like the tunnel system is what they're showing me there. Where's the card going? There you go. So they're in the middle of right now really trying to they're trying to work this out. They don't know how long they're going to have to do this, and they really don't want a lot of attention on it, which is probably as deep as we should go, since I definitely don't want to get in the way or uncover something we shouldn't uncover. Just that we're not going to get a lot of information on this. I think it kind of ends with this. It's like just enough for you to know that these particles are in the air so that you can do something about it for yourself. But this is an important exercise that has to be continued. I feel like they're taking up lots of people. These people might, if they're seen, might be called illegal immigrants. You might see like, oh, huge crossings, like they just got bussed in or something like that into the middle of the country. So to kind of cover for the fact that they're pulling these people out from these underground bases. And what I get is that they're sort of like negative military alliance type people. So that's who they're pulling out. But you don't want to go around those people either. Like, you want to steer clear.
Yeah.
So let 100%. Them do what they need to do.
Yes.
Awesome. Wow. So then this goes into the distraction that they're trying to point everyone out, which is the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift.
Which is pretty obvious. It's like, hello, Taylor Swift is a CIA deep state puppet plant, right? Who's been pushed to become one of the most popular pop stars in the world on purpose to try and have an influence on the masses, just like all celebrities really play a role in. And her, of course, influence is to try and sway voters to vote for Biden or whoever the Democratic fake puppet
ends up being, right? Which probably going to be Big Mike, right?
So and people are obsessed with this fake relationship she has with this guy. Like, it's like, okay, whatever, people are gonna do whatever, but I'm just like, what a waste of time, right?
Well, and it just feels so contrived, right? There's nothing about it that feel like it doesn't feel authentic in any way. Like, there's just nothing, when you look at them, I don't feel attraction between two people. It feels very much staged to me. And I've heard so much interesting information about it. For example, I guess there was a scandal going on with her where her likeness was being used in pornographic videos.
Yes.
And they're trying to show us through that exposure just how convincing the deep fakes are, and that what we're seeing, the two of them together, might not even be them.
Yeah.
It could just be two people that they're making look like them.
Yep, exactly.
There's something so fake about it. There's no weight in it, but look at what it's doing. Look at it on a commercial level, right? Like, it's bringing this attention to football. It's bringing all these people who weren't interested in football to watch football. So what are they trying to get us to see there? And that's a question I'd like to ask my team, is like, why are you wanting us to pay attention to football? Why is that the distraction?
I agree. Well, and I know, and we'll see what your cards have to say. And I shared something from Q the Storm Rider.
Share that
in the chat. And I know I think it was actually, so essentially it said, white hats are painting you a picture. They're going to set up the corruption of the UN connection to Pfizer and world deep state organizations that are going to be connected to a military coup over Trump 2020. The NFL scandal that will keep unfolding will lead to massive corruption connected to money laundering and corruption at the highest levels.
I was just about to say that. That's the first card I pulled. I was
wow. We're on point.
Boom. There's some major funky stuff going on with money.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, child trafficking, money laundering, a lot of these
Money
big
laundering.
players
This is what this
in the
card is showing.
NFL have sold their souls. As with any sport, it's all fake. They use magnets in the footballs and technology to make the football go where they want it to go. It's literally it's all acting, and apparently the referees are almost like the handlers, like directing the players on what to do, how to act, what plays they're going to do next. I don't think people realize how scripted all professional sports are. Um, and it's really the bread and circus to keep people distracted, right? From things that are
And
really going on.
this card is saying that this romance is fake. That's
Oh,
what
totally.
this means. But
Janine got the same thing.
I also wonder if there's going to be a big dramatic breakup right after.
Probably.
What I mean,
Yeah. Who knows?
either he wins and my
Dumpster.
prediction, and this is just me making a guess here, I'm not using my cards. My thoughts about it are they're gonna make it look like he wins, right? It's the big
The
grand
fake
finale
win.
of the movie. It's like, oh my god, I love you so much, and like really hype it up. So because otherwise it makes no sense to have them be in it, him not win, his team not win.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
promote, like they need to promote this agenda that they have. So I think there's that, but I do see like after a while, and maybe it's a really short period of time, like unnaturally short, like they break up because
because who knows,
can't handle the level of fame, or can't handle like the conflicting star, or something like that. I don't know, something ridiculous.
Well, we'll see.
Absolutely. The money.
And so then he says Epstein's saga is going to connect to UN, CIA, European Union, the entertainment industry, entertainment, sports industry. Nothing will ever be the same, as there will be no NFL Super Bowl next year due to corruption and scandals. After the NFL corruption scandals escalate in the summer, the NFL won't resume until 2026. Everything is only beginning now and will grow into a massive corruption scandal later in the summer. Late summer, Pfizer and vaccine deaths will be exposed on a massive world level connected to the UN, Fauci, CDC, NIH. And who has this Travis guy been promoting like crazy? Pfizer. Oh, get your flu and your COVID shot at once.
He is so owned. He is so
horrible.
Owned.
Yeah. So
is she playing the halftime show?
I don't think it's other people. Let me check quick. But it's funny because they announced who would be playing the halftime show and who the teams were like 3 weeks ago before the teams actually like would have been decided. So it just goes to show you how prefixed it is. I feel like it was a few different people. So 2024. So we have
weird that it would be Taylor
Usher will be leading. So of course a big deep stater. I think you have to do some pretty nasty stuff to be able to perform at the Super Bowl.
Well, as I understand it, it's a ritual thing, right?
It is a ritual thing for sure.
Rituals that they pull, and it's always weird, and it's always full of symbolism.
It is. It's so bad. Well, and it's the biggest child trafficking event ever. I wonder though if it's different now because they're clearing a lot of the stuff out, if there's still as much of that happening now.
My question is, if it's the biggest child trafficking event, are they like trading numbers, like information about these children, or are the children physically present?
I think there's a lot of the number stuff actually that happens.
So possibly part of the laundering is the betting on things, and maybe the jersey numbers, or the team/jersey/player, as the person bets on it, if they're actually doing this trafficking, that it's like a fake bet, but it has a meaning about which child, or something like that. Some weird code going on. But even just if you're like, let's say you're just betting on it just to bet on the game, even that's fixed, and that money is definitely going to these negative organizations, whoever's profiting off of those bets. So
can it just all go away? I'm just ready for New Earth.
Well, I know some people get really into it. I have family members that are really into it. I've just never,
Right.
it's never been a pull for me, a draw.
Yeah.
Even the halftime shows, I'm just like, I can't get into it. And
Well,
then
'cause
you,
it's satanic.
right? And you learn all this stuff about it. I mean, some really seriously gross ones were like, what, the Madonna one?
Yeah.
Katy Perry's
And
was
the
weird.
weekend. That
Oh,
was
the
crazy.
weekend was like the creepiest. Yeah.
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 No.
So, that's what they want us to pay attention to right now. I guess that's the thing that's coming up. I wonder if there's going to be another Epstein drop before the game happens.
Yeah, that seemed to really fizzle out really fast.
Well, I feel like, again, the drops that are happening now really aren't for us. They're for the
I
people
know.
who are trying to catch up,
Yeah.
to the story and what's happening. So it's kind of always going to feel like a nothing burger until we start seeing like action. We start seeing people arrested and
Yeah.
on trial. Then you're going to be like, okay, now we're like up to speed. Right now,
Yeah.
it feels like a lot of the previous information we know, like like going into, like, for example, the blackout. When we talk about that, that's something we've known for years. I mean, people know to expect it.
Yeah.
But only so many people are prepared for it. So how do you get more people prepared for it without priming them? Like, you need to do something, get them primed to go.
It's true, totally. Because some people are like, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen.
Right. And I just keep wondering, like, will it happen at a time of year where at least it's not going to be extreme heat or extreme cold? Like, can we do this in a mild season?
Well, I feel like it's going to happen sometime between summer and early fall is the window to me.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
when do they officially announce Trump for the candidate for the Republican Party? Is there a certain date for that?
I don't know if you've heard this, but they've already tried to give it to him, and he refused to take it because he wanted to finish the caucuses.
Right. He's doing it all the honest way.
Well, but he also kind of wants to show the public how much support is actually behind him.
Totally.
And if they were to just hand it to him, that would sort of block that people from being able to see it.
Yeah.
And it's very in your face. Like, people will be shocked at how many people support Trump in this country.
Yeah. Is there a special day for that though? Or is that like a certain date by that happens by, like in May?
I feel like April. So I feel like April might be around the time. I don't know for sure. If you are watching and you know for sure, put it in the chat for us, because that's not something I've tracked, but I just feel like there's something coming up. Okay, there's Super Tuesday, and I want to say that's near or after the Super Bowl.
What's Super Tuesday?
Super Tuesday might be when the announcement is.
Super Tuesday is the United States presidential primary election day in February or March.
There you go. So that's the day. That's the day.
That it would get announced?
That I think it would get announced. That's when people, I think, vote.
Tuesday, March 5th.
Yeah. So that's the date people are going to be locking that in. And honestly, Biden pulled something where he changed the State of the Union address to right before Super Tuesday. So he's going to really try and pump himself up and make him look like he's like, our economy is great and we're in the best shape ever.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah, and that's where the Swift endorsement comes, right? To try and be right before that too, because February is tomorrow and March 5th is very fast, right? So yeah, that all makes sense. And then it's like, what kind of distractions are going to be pulled for this around the Super Tuesday announcement? Because that's a big deal, and they're going to want to try and take away as much focus from Trump as possible, right? Because it's inevitable. We know what's happening there. And then I'm curious, and maybe, well, there's so much going on, but I would love to do one on the false World War III scare event and talk about that. When is that, and when that's going to drop, because we know that's coming. We know part of the false flag is around that. And like, again, how far is it going to get with it? Is there going to be a draft? And like, what is that all going to look like? Because the media is planting the seeds. They're like, what's the safest countries to live in if World War III, nuclear, whatever happens? And of course, it's false flag, it's fake, it's not going to actually happen. But when you start seeing more stuff like that being pushed in the mainstream media, you know that they're like foreshadowing.
Right. So we're getting closer. We're getting
Yeah.
close to it for sure. Yeah, I want to go into that in a future episode. So hold on, check back. We're going to be on the no sugarcoating the truth channel on Amber's channel next week. Vote. Let me know what topic do you want to hear about next? Are you interested in the World War III thing? Do we want to go deeper into Super Tuesday and what's going on there? Or is there another topic that you're hoping that we'll cover? And we'll look into that. But until then, Amber, how can people work with you, especially if they want to detox? I mean, I know that's one of the things you can with.
Yeah. Detoxification, nervous system regulation, hormone balancing. We need all of this right now. So you can go to amberproof.ca and you can listen to the podcast that's there, the No Sugarcoating podcast, as well as you can connect and email me or book a consultation to talk more about how we can take these steps to make sure your body and you are feeling optimal through this whole thing, because it's going to be an adventure this year. We know that. Yes. Where can everyone find you and your work, Therese?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to hear more from me, you can go to blythestarlight.com. You can book a reading. You can book coaching sessions there. Also, you can check out my YouTube channel at Blythe Starlight, because I'm going to be putting up some new karma cards. They're coming out tomorrow. I'm going to work on those right now. So if you want to know how you can work with the energy that's happening right now, because even though there's this big picture and we're talking about it and all that going on, the most important part is what's going on for you.
Yeah.
And getting in touch with your inner world and creating a solid, secure foundation within yourself, because you will be able to weather all of this that's going on if you do that. So check out my Blythe Starlight YouTube channel, and you can check out my weekly karma cards or visit my website. All right. Well, we did it.
This was fun. We did it. Yay. And we had some really great viewership along the way, YouTube and Rumble. So thank you for joining us. It was a blast. And we'll see you again next week. Again, the No Sugarcoating Truth channel. If you just search that on Rumble, you'll be able to come and subscribe and come along with us. We still have to figure out how to dual stream, if we can dual stream on both of our channels at the same time. And if any of you know that, email us, comment, please, because we'd love to be able to both stream on both of our Rumbles out.
Yes.
There's got to be a way.
Figure it out. There's got to be a way. People do this, so we're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out, but I'm proud of us. So we'll see you again next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.